Hey, what's up guys, it's Serge. Using social media, particularly Twitter, for an active investing and trading approach is extremely important. There are a million times more sources that you shouldn't follow than the ones that are worth following. It's extremely important that we can filter out the noise, otherwise we end up just wasting our time using a tool such as Twitter. So let's slide on over to the screens and I'll show you how I use Twitter for active investing and trading.
Alright guys, so the first thing you need to do when you want to start using Twitter, you need to download something called TweetDeck. TweetDeck was, I believe, bought by Twitter a while back, and essentially is a desktop application that you can much better organize Twitter. Because basically the way Twitter works is that it's essentially a stream of stuff, right? And all the people you follow and stuff they retweet and stuff like that will come into a list. The problem is, if you're someone like me who's a heavy Twitter user, you need to be able to segregate the list into different things. Like, for example, I have a business list. As you can see, I've got another list called whatever. What is this? This is the notification list, friends and family and stuff like that. So I have a whole bunch of lists. But the one that I really care about, for the most part, is the business one, because I use that for information gathering. Now, that's the first thing. Download TweetDeck. The second thing is you need to start somewhere following people. Don't just randomly click around. Even the suggestions that Twitter gives to you of people to follow isn't really that good on average. Doesn't mean it doesn't work at all, but on average doesn't work. So what you want to do is, let's say you like my content. You go to my name, you click on my username, and you see who I follow. And then you can start working on following some of the people that I follow, so that you can kind of get a little bit of a feel for what I think is relevant. And really from there, it kind of takes on its own little life. You start following people who will then retweet stuff from other interesting people, and it'll be pretty quick to you what's relevant and what's not, what's noise. A lot of trolls out on Twitter, just like you get on the blog posts still these days. Those guys you can easily filter out by unfollowing them, or even unfollowing. If you see someone that's, sometimes people change. Like, let's say you follow someone, whatever. This is Bloomberg Business. This is like a fairly, nothing crazy there in terms of trolling, obviously. But let's say all of a sudden, for some crazy reason, Bloomberg starts trolling. They won't, but I'm saying let's assume they do, for argument's sake. I can then just take them off my list right away, and that way sort of keep it clean. What's important is, from my perspective, from a trading perspective or an active investing perspective, is that I follow sources from around the world. I like to have a good mix of U.S. sources, European sources, and folks in Asia. So I want to follow people on the ground, or at the very least people I know that have really good information on a specific say geographic location in markets. For example, if I want to know something about the German DAX, I'm probably not going to follow someone US based. I'm probably going to follow someone more at the very least London based, because they tend to have a little bit more information on it, and vice versa. For US markets, I'm almost never going to follow someone that's not US based, unless maybe it's someone from London where it's a little bit more of an international headquarters. So those are a couple things there. The other great thing about Twitter is, from a news perspective, I really get a real good, instantaneous news type of feel from Twitter. There's guys on here that are a ton quicker, and that's just the nature of Twitter. That Twitter is a lot quicker than news. I mean, the amount of time it takes someone to tweet something out that's from that source, until excuse me, the news sources caught up with it is just 100 times quicker. So that's a great thing about Twitter. Again, the point about Twitter is that you can pick your sources, which is, in the modern age we live in, something that you absolutely have to do in order to successfully active invest, because it's almost worthless following some of the big media at this point. Obviously, selectively, it's still okay for some of the things, but for the most part, you want to get to the real sources and not listen to someone who had to interpret the news for you, which is usually wrong, right? So that's just a basic, simple fact about that. Next, if you want to use something like a StockTwits, this is a Twitter for traders, basically, right? So you can see I have about 18,500 or so followers here at the moment. Decent size. And I follow some people, and this is all stock specific stuff, right? I think it's a good mix to have, to use this stuff and Twitter itself. I don't believe in just using one or the other because they don't really overlap too much for the most part. But so this is a good thing to use. Here you can specifically look for stuff after specific stocks. So let's say I'm interested in Twitter, the stock. Then I get into I get all these people that have tweeted about Twitter, right? Twitter, the stock. So I hope this makes sense, guys. Again, make sure you use modern technology from Twitter. Make sure you have your cell phones or your smartphones and your iPad activated so you can make use of the trading and active investing facilities on the go, because these days we are no longer chained to the desk. That's an extremely important thing to do and extremely powerful. So yeah, I hope it makes sense, guys. Any questions, please let me know. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.